It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Eagles and the Bears. Next on Madden NFL 22.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Throwing on first down. Hyde. And incomplete to open things up.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Crowd getting in it a bit already. Here's an early 3rd and 10. From the gun, Hyde. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Bears take over. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Rolling to his right. And a quick shuffle pass here is complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. 2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14.
Well, he was trying to make something happen there outside of the pocket, but ultimately what did happen was a loss of yardage.
Yeah, he held on to it for a long time, didn't he? As you talked about, trying to make something happen, hoping something would come open, but it didn't. Ends up shoveling it off. Ends up going for negative play.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. And they come in losers of 2 straight. And remember, they've got the open date on their calendar next weekend. But you think it's vitally important, Charles, that they focus on the task at hand here?
Absolutely, because these players, they know what's coming up. And the difference between taking time off following a win versus doing so on a 3-game losing streak, that's absolutely huge, because they may come back if they lose this game to a facility, and there may be new faces in there and some teammates lost.
The throw here caught by Devontae Parker. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Looking to throw. Hyde. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Schultz. That catch good for only a couple.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This is Gordon on the dump off. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
The Eagles unable to convert there on fourth, and the Bears will get the football back. Well, it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play. The exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punter to knock one dead inside the 10-yard line. That's not necessarily easily done. So I think going for it there was the right call.
It's Franks now from the shotgun. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And down to the 20 he'll go before running out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. Now Franks. Going back to Marshall. He's got him again. And the Bears are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, and he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
Toward the back corner of the end zone. Not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. So an early challenge, and you know that those coaches hate to use those red flags too early, but this one turns out to be successful. Extra point by McCann, up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
The numbers there for Connery in last week's game. 14 carries, 70 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that, but they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. That's caught. It's DeMarcus Robinson. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away.
Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run,
But for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Frank's throw taken in by Ridley here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle, and they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Here's a give to Fournette. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week. 16 carries, a touchdown to go along with 124 yards.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Setting up play action. Franks sliding out of the pocket. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. A big play that time through the air. 36 yards. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
The Franks looking to throw. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. Extra point by McCann, up and good, and it's now 14-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the end result is a Bears touchdown.
McCann's got it teed up. This taken in at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Back to throw. Hyde. He finds Robinson. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big play that time on the catch and run.
And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy's made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
This one hauled in, and again it's Robinson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
On 1st and 10 is Counter. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Hyde. That's complete. It's Gordon.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
From the gun on 3rd down. Hyde escapes the sack. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Jeffrey Simmons drops him for a loss of 14 yards, and it also brings up 4th down. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Second down, back to Fournette. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
On the move to his left. He's got Mason complete. It'll be a gain of 5. And that'll make it second down.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
On second down, here's Fournette. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. Franks now. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Franks now to throw on 1st down. Over the middle, complete into the hands of Trimble. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Franks. He's got a man. That's Marshall. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. In that time for the sack, say hello to Chandler Jones.
And that takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And Old Mo is a victim.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Eagles are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise.
And the ball's out. Hyde fumbled it, but I think the Bears have recovered. They have. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right? So if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
On second down now, it's Hines, and he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They got the ball in great field position after the fumble, but this defense trying to stand tall.
They certainly are, and a lot of times after you pick up a fumble or get an interception, you have momentum on your side.
And he will fight his way in, not giving up there, and he's got a Bears touchdown. Leonard Fournette with touchdown number 8 on the year. As the Bears push further out in front. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. McCann's got it teed up. This fielded right at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Well, the Eagles going to get one final possession in this first half. And they really won't have much time to work with. Just 19 seconds showing on the clock. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down.
Let's go, bro. Let's go. Make it happen.
So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape.
The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. So here are the Bears to take over on offense. Trying to erase the memory of last week when they dropped one to the Minnesota Vikings. They're in the driver's seat right now with the lead. Off the play fake, here's Franks. And that's caught by his tight end, Dalton Keene. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Operating from the gun, Franks. There's Trimble, the tight end. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Denzel Perryman charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They go play action with Franks. They'll roll him out right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. Isaiah Coulter, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
The pass there complete to Sutton. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll run on first down. Connor. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Julius Sneed. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Extra point by McCann, up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen...
Gordon loses the football. It's loose. But I believe it was covered by an Eagle. It was. And Philadelphia is going to hold on to the football.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good game and a first down.
Now a throw here to his running back. That catch good for only a couple.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Here's a throw caught by Gronkowski. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
37 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. On first down, here's Franks. Flushed out right. And that is caught. It's Ridley. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good. Soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another first down.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Off the play fake. Franks under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Denzel Perryman picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their 2nd win coming out of the locker room. He'll buy some time right, and that will be incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This is taken at the 15. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 3rd and 2. Hyde. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. They have picked up right where they left off in half number 1, just looking really dominant, extending this lead.
And it's fun to see when teams actually do that because so many times you go into the half after playing well and you kind of relax a little bit. We've got this. We can kind of punch the button whenever we get good and ready. But for a team to keep the intensity and keep the execution up and come back after the half and play so well, that's actually really, really nice to see.
And a pedal to the metal. That's what we're seeing right now. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 48 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep...
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Chandler Jones able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Here comes the Bears punter now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get one step. If you're within one step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that looks like an extra step was involved.
On first down, Hyde. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. He's got it complete to Gronkowski. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Eluding the pressure right. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to let one go deep for Parker. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
A second down throw coming for Franks. For Marshall, that's complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Setting up play action. Franks. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Dalton Keene, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bears look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. McCann's got it teed up. Taken at the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
From the gun on third down. Hyde. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Fournette running right. And some room to roam now. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. 74 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. Working out of the gun, Franks. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. The sack sets him back a full 10 yards there on 1st and goal. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now Franks. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
Franks will throw for it on 4th down. And that is incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Eagles defense able to hold. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule. That if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we could at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there. On 1st and 10, Hyde. He finds his target. It's Schultz. 7 yards to pick up there.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Back to throw again. And this is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good. And that will knock this down to still a very large 29-point deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The Chicago offense set to get started. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles. What does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. Rolling to his right. On the run. He'll let this go deep right side. This is intercepted. Picked off by Blesson Austin. And the Eagles will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
And the ball's out. Hyde fumbled it. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game, and all of them started with ball security in some form or another, understanding that taking care of the ball was the key to winning games. They can't believe what they're seeing right now because they spent all this time on it with the fundamentals, taking care of it, tucking it away, and they're not doing it.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Off the play fake. Here's Franks. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And now it appears that the referee's been closed. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video. So they had it right. McCann's got it teed up. This taken in at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
He's going to drop this one down to Gordon. And down he'll go at the 25.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Hyde. To Connor on the check down. And he is going to have an Eagles first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Right there, 54, right there.
They'll look to throw again. He's going to let it fly. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And